Yo, I better be able to do this right. Hold on, I think I'm live. Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's the one and only legend of winning, aka Low. I better not. Man, let me just exit out this tab because it's gonna fucking do it. What's up, everybody? It's the one and only legend of winning, aka Low, and we're back with another podcast talking about a few things. It's not gonna be too. This video actually, this podcast is not gonna be that long this week. However, fuck, man. Oh, here you go. Bet. This podcast is not going to be too long this week, mainly because it wasn't really much going on. However, there's going to be some big topics we're talking about because we're talking about the Christmas game. And on top of that, we're going to be talking about, just wrapping up what happened in 2016 and everything that kind of transpired and what we think about it. So, sit back, relax, bring some popcorn, get ready for Park After Dark if you're a 2K head out there.
Or Ronda Rousey. Either one.
Around the Rousey because that match is going up as well later on today. Shout out to all the people who supporting. Hopefully my videos will start uploading again a few days. It should be in the next 2 days after like Tuesday or something, maybe even Monday.
What's the PC situation, man? You building a new PC?
Yeah, I'm building a PC. So I'm building the PC i5 quad core processor, all that other extra stuff. So yeah, shout out to y'all for still sticking around though. And when I do upload videos, it'll be on an extremely consistent basis because I have like a whole bunch of videos tucked in the folder to the side, already ready to go. All I gotta do is just transfer all the files to the new computer and hit render, and everything will be good. But yo, Waffle, not Waffle. Fuck, Waffle's not here today neither. So shout out to Waffle, RIP.
Nah, what's crackle jacker smacking everybody? You're not
shout out. Agent, go and introduce yourself, big.
Hey man, we chilling. Just got some KFC. Waiting for Park After Dark. Fuck you, 2K, for dropping that shit during Ronda Rousey's fight. Y'all always dropping Park After Dark when there's some other shit going on. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a nice pod. Hopefully, not too long this time. Yeah, let's get into it.
Yo, first of all, we gotta open it up because I put in the title. The Christmas game. You watch the Christmas game, Agent?
Only one I watched was the Golden State one.
Oh, that's the only one that really mattered. So the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Pretty sure a lot of people saw it. If not, you haven't seen it. It's borderline on YouTube right now. The entire game is almost on YouTube, so you can probably go find it on YouTube. But we gotta touch upon that because a lot of things transpired in that game. Did you watch the entire game or just highlights?
No, the whole thing.
I bet that's great. So for people out there who didn't watch the entire thing, just a quick recap. Beginning of the game was fairly even. Kevin Durant started to go off, though. They pulled away a little bit. But then the fourth quarter, Kyrie Irving came through yet again and kind of proved how great of a player he is and what exactly he means to the Cavs organization and where exactly he may be eventually put when it comes to all-time great players because how clutch he has consistently been. Is there anything I'm missing? I mean, that's a pretty brief. Oh, and Curry. Curry's trash.
Yo, Curry, I needed him to step up for my fantasy team, yo. What's wrong with this guy? Every Christmas day, he's garbage. It's crazy.
Every Christmas game. For people out there who don't know, this is like a consistent thing with Curry. Curry is consistently bad throughout the entire throughout Christmas. And I keep hearing people claiming that, people are still giving Curry the benefit of the doubt. I just want to know when exactly is that going to stop? Because from my understanding, what Curry does and what he doesn't do on the floor, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense for him to continue to be outperformed like that almost every single time.
Nah, Kyrie's on pace to be. Let me say this, man. Kyrie's on pace to be one of the most underrated players in the NBA. I've been saying since time because people remember like before LeBron got there, y'all saying Kyrie didn't carry the team. That man was like 22. Well, I don't know what everyone was expecting. He's not LeBron. There's only like one or two players in the NBA that can carry like that. You're gonna need a pretty heavy backpack, especially on that garbage team Kyrie was on at the time. So not only did he get time to develop, but now he's around great players who've already had the experience. This is beautiful for him. So he doesn't have to worry too much on the defensive end. That's where a lot of people hit him. They're like, Kyrie's not a good defender. But on offense, I'm saying every big shot, they're like, it's Kyrie. Let's go Kyrie. Now, there was some questionable calls at the end. I know people were saying Kevin Durant should have got the foul call. There was one time where the Cavs were before the Kyrie shot, the Cavs were out of timeouts. and they shouldn't have. It was a shot clock violation, I believe. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And it was an obvious shot clock violation. You didn't need a brain to know it was a shot clock violation, but they went back to the tape to make sure it was a shot clock violation, which gave the Cavs the time to set up a play, and that was the play that got Kyrie open for the shot. It also gave the Warriors a chance to illegally sub out Curry, because we know Curry's not the greatest defender. And so, I mean, on both sides, the refs fucked that one up because, one, the Cavs got a timeout they shouldn't have, and two, Curry's now out of the game. And so Kyrie banged the shot, and then after that, Durant tripped over. It should have been a foul, but usually they let that shit go at the end of games. But at the end of the day, I don't really care which of those teams win. I just want to see great basketball. I wanted to see like Kevin Durant hit the shot sitting down or Kyrie bang long distance. It was, if y'all go back and you can watch the game, the last 2 minutes was crazy. The crowd was all in it. There was loose balls and rebounds and breaks and crazy clutch shots. It's definitely a game worth going back and watching, y'all. But
you sat there and said, I personally, I'm not gonna say I know the rules like in and out, but like for you, for example, you sat there and said that KD it should have been called a foul, which I agree it should have been a foul. But even KD said himself like they blew a 14-point lead within the last like 9 minutes of the game. Like that's a lead that you don't blow. Yeah. Give up that many points.
There's a lot of teams that have to deal with that, and you get to the point. I know the Raptors have where they just stop blaming the refs, and they're like, there's some things we could have done better. And that's true. That doesn't mean the refs should be absolved of mistakes. And they definitely made some mistakes that game, but I think it was even mistakes. It wasn't like one team was lopsidedly favored. But yeah, man, the end of the game was crazy. Did you watch it, right?
Yeah, I watched the entire thing. They what they saying in the chat is that the substitution was legal, so they don't know why you called it was an illegal substitution.
No, what was it? Jeff Van Gundy was on that shit calling it illegal, yo. Because it wasn't a timeout.
I don't know.
It was a shot clock violation. You can't sub out. That's what Jeff Van Gundy was saying. I trust Van Gundy, man.
Like I said, I don't know all the legal data leads. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I don't know all the rules and regulations to when it comes to substitution. All I know is this. Well, one, we can keep talking about Curry real quick. I mean, Kyrie, like you said, I think we now have to like overlook his flaws, because the thing that really blows me away is when people sit here and they overlook Curry's flaws and they make sure that it's okay that he doesn't play defense, or it's okay that he turns the ball over because offensively he's so potent, he's so efficient, he spaced the floor out for his team and he really helps them out. However, if almost every other player we harp on their flaws so much so that we come off maybe as haters or maybe as really being too harsh on them. However, looking at what Kyrie has done consistently over the past, it's been like 6-7 months now, everything from the finals and through this first part of the season. Yo, Kyrie is legit. Kyrie is that guy. Like I don't think anybody to question what people need to do. Yeah, shout out to Marshawn Lynch. I see you. I don't think anybody needs to question what type of player Kyrie is, because Kyrie has consistently done the things that people asked him and more. Because even though defensively I do think it's still questionable, I think he's picked up. I think he's picked up defensively. I think he's been a tad bit better player all around.
I need to go in and look at the stats, because I know people like to okay, Kyrie, Dame, bad defenders, y'all, and then we'd never give them another chance. Like they can improve on that aspect of their game. So it's definitely worth going.
But Curry's a bad defender too, though.
I know, but I'm saying
that's what I'm saying.
Should give them an opportunity to reevaluate what they're really good at. And some of these players, you know what I mean? It's possible they get better defensively. We've seen it happen.
Let me get on my Curry slander, because that's really what I wanted to get on this this podcast for. Yo, I don't know what it's going to take for y'all to understand. Curry isn't as great as y'all think he is. He's a good player. No, he's a great player. Let me take that. He's a great player. He's phenomenal. He's, in my opinion, and I think this is facts at this point, he is the greatest shooter the game has ever seen. When people go out on a limb,
and one of the greatest offensive players, right?
You can throw that out there too, right? But when people go out on a limb and claim that he's the best player in the NBA, which he has never been. He's never been better than
LeBron isn't either right now, by the way.
Who's better than LeBron?
I think LeBron's the most talented. He's not playing the best though. He's taking a lot of games off. He's relaxing. I know people like to say he's coasting, but when he's in the games, he's really trying, and he's doing a good job carrying. But who's playing the best right now? I don't think it's neither of those.
If you want to look at stats, yes. But I would much rather have LeBron than everybody else. But what I'm saying,
that's true.
What I'm getting at is this: over the past 2 years, when Curry's winning his MVPs and unanimous in the 73 win season and yada yada yada, people rolled off this sentiment rolled off of the tongue for them so casually that he is the best player in the NBA that I think people overreacted to what he was doing. It was still fine. It was still great. But for whatever reason, people still overlooked his flaws. I made a video flaws and people still overlooked it. A huge reason why I'm even doing this channel right now is because the video that I uploaded and people still in the video where I'm bringing out facts, people still overlook the fact that he can't play defense.
He's like me on
an elite defender.
He's like me on Park, yo. I'm playing my Park on 2K. Yo, I'm a fucking lights out offense. But yo, on defense, I'm gonna do a decent job. I'm not gonna do amazing. I'll fuck up a couple of times, but I'll score the 3 right back. Don't even worry about it.
He's borderline. I mean, because if he's a great defender, why would they take him out? If he's an elite defender, like people are claiming, that if he's even good, why would they take him out in the last game? I mean, the last possession of that game, because he's not good. No, because he's not good. That's the reason why he's not good. That's the reason why they take him out. That's the reason why they don't have him guarding.
As a person that went in, yo, what do you think? If you had to rate his defense at it, let's say
I think at best it's average. I think it's
let's say 1 is a 55 overall, no badges, and 10 is Kawhi Leonard. What do you rate Curry at?
1 is a 55 on-ball defense.
Yeah, no badges.
So what's average though? Like 5?
Yeah.
You said no bad. You said badges. He's like, I think Curry is a 5. I think Curry's an average. I think Curry is an average. If he is a bit better, like you said, he is just a little bit better than average.
You see him in the next game clamp the fuck down Lowry, who by the way is having like an insane historical last few weeks. It was crazy.
But Kyle, him doing it once every now and then isn't qualified for him being an elite defender. All I'm saying is, and people have seen this on my channel multiple times, I have seen people label him as an elite defender. I've seen people claim that he's a great defender. I've seen people make the argument that the reason why they don't have him guard elite offensive players is because they want to quote unquote save him on the offensive end. They want to save him for the offensive end. They want to save his energy, which may be true, but the overwhelming fact is he's not that great of a defender. That's the reason why he doesn't guard.
Are you sure, man? I think in those last dying seconds against the Cavs, like they're probably saving him for overtime, right?
No, they don't. They don't say no. They say they put him on J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert because they know for a fact that he can't guard the elite point guard. That's the reason why they do it. And don't get me wrong, there's been multiple players throughout NBA history who fall under that same category. But for whatever reason with Curry, we make an excuse. When Curry doesn't perform in the finals, oh, he's hurt. He's better than Isaiah Thomas, who was limping on one leg, and he was performing in the finals. But he's better than Isaiah Thomas. He's better than Matt. He's comparable to Michael, even though Michael had a flu game in the finals. But he's comparable to him, but he can't perform in the finals. I just feel like over the past 2 years, there's been way too many excuses made for Curry. And I think this year is the year that's finally going to be pushing people over the edge. Because if Curry go in the finals this year and he underperform again, in my opinion, he's by far the most overrated player ever. If he whoa,
real quick. Don't finish that sentence.
If he underperforms in the finals this year,
what does that make LeBron? That man underperformed in so many finals. It's crazy.
What?
LeBron?
You're crazy.
What's his finals record, man?
Does that mean him as an individual underperformed?
I'm saying though, the expectations were he was gonna win, right? At least half of those. But there was some he literally against the Mavericks. underperform with the Heat.
Underperform. You're right. You're right. You're right. He underperformed. You're right.
I'm saying though, like people are gonna have bad games. I don't think it was the nerves. I've seen Curry way too many times bang, just cold-blooded walk back and like nothing happened. I've seen that way too many times for me to think that he's getting lucky in those games. That's skill, and I think he can do it again. But not everything is gonna drop. You see Kyrie pull up, and you see him hit the big shots. You know, in Game 7, he hit it. Also hit it the other day, right? And Christmas Day. But I'm saying, like, he also missed a lot of those. Gilbert Arenas is one of my most favorite players of all time. That man clutch as fuck. But he missed some shots. So I'm saying, like, if he misses again, it had to be a Game 7 miss.
You're naming you. And so far, when it comes to LeBron, you're echoing too. You're echoing crazy.
I'm gonna put my headphones on.
When you talk about LeBron, you're literally referring to one series. And I think majority of people who are watching this and majority of people who watch basketball know for a fact that it is one series. It is one series that LeBron like egregiously underperformed. Outside of that, because for the most part, even though LeBron teams normally don't win in the finals, it's mainly because of other factors that are outside.
It's mainly because the East is garbage, and then that too. No one's talking about that. Yo, this is the thing that makes me cringe. Like, listen. I don't hate anybody in the NBA aside from Berniani, Gallinari, and Corey Brewer. So, I mean, he's not one of those players. LeBron James is sweeping these garbage-ass Eastern Conference teams, right? He out there fucking – even the second-best team is getting hit 6 games easy. And 6 games might have been a push last year. And he's resting. Sweep, rest a week. Sweep, rest a week. And then when you play Golden State, who just finished a hectic season where for some reason they didn't bench their starters to end the season – then they come through and they're playing heavy minutes. And I'm saying those Game 4 sweeps really add up, yo. I wish there was like what if scenarios in real life, bro. If I can run shit back and just real quick put the Spurs in the East, I want to see how that changed things, man. I don't think LeBron. You think he would have reached the final? You would have definitely missed at least a couple finals if the Spurs were there.
You know, I see what she's saying. I agree. I agree that he should not have made it to the finals that many times if he played in a more legitimate conference. But I don't want to get off Curry too much. And I wholeheartedly agree with that, and that's a very legitimate argument. But when it comes to Curry in general, Curry, he plays in a conference to where he should be battle ready. He's war tested. So when he gets to the finals, everything's understood. However, what people just don't want to admit, when he first went to the finals, he beat up on a Pelicans team that wasn't good, an injury-ridden Memphis Grizzlies team, and then he went against the Rockets, who probably should not have been, but they got there on their own merit. That's the Clippers' fault. And then he got to the finals and beat up on a Cavs team that really wasn't that impressive at all. If that happened to Michael, because we see people now who go back through Michael's career and critique every little thing that he did. We see people like you just sat there and did with LeBron go back through his career and critique everything that he did. I don't understand why people don't do that with Curry. I don't understand why over the past 2, borderline 3 years now, Curry has gotten this just completely outrageous pass for the things that he has or hasn't done, and his weakness, people make excuses for it when it's so obvious that he can't play defense or he's an average defender. He turns the ball over way too much, and in the NBA Finals, he doesn't perform. He can't stay healthy throughout the entire season because throughout the playoffs and in the regular season, he doesn't play that many games. He doesn't play fourth quarter. Those are things that add up to the point where we're at now where he goes into the finals, he underperforms. He can't play defense against Kyrie Irving, so they had to put him on Iman Shumpert. And even then, as I've clearly pointed out multiple times, that he barely does that from time to time. So I'm just confused to why he gets the pass. And that's the reason why I think he is overrated, because there's too many people, because he's still a great player.
No, I don't know, but you said he was the most.
I think because him being on that Warriors team, they have stacked the cards in his favor. You went out, you had a 73-9 team, and you failed at that. So then you went out, and instead of getting a 73-9 team come back. Though,
if they had that home game in Game 5 with the momentum, I think they would have won. But what ifs, right?
If you go back, you got a 73-9 team, you failed at that. You come back and make the decision as a unit, because I'm pretty sure Curry had some input. Yo, the 73-19, that wasn't enough. So now we got to go get Kevin Durant.
No. I heard they were doing that since like 6 months before free agency. So that was.
What I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure Curry still had some input to it, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because the players did have some input, because that's why Draymond took somewhat of a pay cut, just so they can have enough money. If you're putting yourself in that situation to win, and you don't win, and we are regarding Curry, not me, but majority of people are regarding Curry in greater regards in what I believe he really is that not overrating him? Is that not
what
a
you're
level
saying,
of overrate?
But keep in mind, like, remember when the Spurs beat up on the Warriors late last season and in last year, and everyone was like, oh, fuck, the Spurs are going to be a real threat. And then I legit sat back. I was like, I know they won that one, but I can't imagine they pulled out all the tricks on a fucking regular season game. The Warriors are gonna pull out the moves, and they definitely got him. And it's gonna be a fun series. And at the end of the day, the Spurs didn't go far last year, and so I know it was a serious game, and a lot of people were watching it, and it was a good team. It's literally an exhibition for these guys. They know they're gonna go in the playoffs, and unless a huge injury happens to one of the teams, they're gonna go deep in the playoffs. They're saving their fucking tricks, y'all. Like, if I'm playing Madden, unless it's like a clutch fourth down, like, I'm not dropping my go-to play. I can't let you know what that is. I can't let you adjust to it. I'm saying that's what I think is happening, which is why I'm not taking, like, I'm not thinking too much into this game. I just think it was an entertaining game to watch. It was fun. The Cavs got the best of it. It was a good fought battle. But I know both the coaches sitting back like, I got this under my sleeve right now. But wait till the finals. When we meet you guys in the finals, you're going to be ready for this. So that's what I think is happening now. But, I mean, they're playing each other one more time, right? I'm looking forward to that shit right there. I want to see how the gameplay changes, man.
I agree with you. I obviously they're not giving their entire hand, and they're obviously not showing everything. But they were up 14 points in the fourth quarter.
The real question is, when they were up 14
they were
points,
trying.
Were the starters on?
Yeah, Curry finished the fourth. Well, I'm pretty sure somebody in the chat knows. Curry finished the fourth quarter like 2 for like 7 or something like that. And that might have been KD who finished the fourth quarter 2 for 7. Both of them didn't play good in the fourth quarter, but they were trying. When you're up 14 points, at some point you probably do like let your foot off the gas. But I mean, as you were trying in that game to win the game. Let's be clear about that. Obviously, they're not going to go out there and show their entire hand, but there's something out there that you want to do to make sure that you do close that game and make a statement. And they attempted to make the statement. They failed at making a statement. And part of them not making a statement is both Kevin Durant and Curry. And I think, and this is again, it's just me. And hopefully I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who believe this as well. If the Golden State Warriors lose in the NBA Finals, I think that speaks more volumes. I think it helps a lot of people. And I'm gonna make a video on this, obviously. It helps a lot of players in both regards.
They got keep.
But if they lose in the finals, but this is part of what I'm saying. What you about to say? Keep in mind, they got Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson. They got all these. They have everything in their favor, agent. If they lose the game,
I'm not gonna lie. If they lose, I'm gonna be mad as fuck. Like, they must be. You gotta be garbage with all those players to lose.
Exactly. If they lose, there's a whole bunch of questions I got for KD and Curry, because it don't make no sense for them to lose.
Can you imagine Kevin Durant went to Cleveland in the offseason?
Yo,
that'd be crazy.
Kevin Durant be ridiculous. But if they lose, it's a whole level of disdain that I'm gonna have for both of them. That I don't, in my opinion, it would label Curry for sure overrated. Still great, still phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. And I'll be the first to say that he is the greatest shooter the game has ever seen.
But that's obvious. That's not like you're not going out of your way to say that.
But I'm just saying he's still a phenomenal player. I just want to get that clear. And I've said that Kevin Durant. We had this conversation last week that Kevin Durant has always been, in my opinion, the second best player, or at least the top 3 player in the league.
Yo, we talk about underrated. Kevin Durant, people are forgetting that he exists just because he's on a team of other superstars. Like, he just lost all his talent immediately. Come on, man. That man Kevin Durant balling out there. You see him for the last couple weeks. He is taking all of Curry's stats on fantasy, making me low-key mad because I got Curry, but high-key happy because I'm like, I know a lot of y'all be hating on Kevin Durant, okay? But I like that dude since it was his first year in OKC, man. I don't know. I was into underdogs back then, and I know OKC had a losing season, so I was like, I fuck with this team heavy. But yo, man, y'all like to hate too much. They're all down to earth people. It's not like they
There's
fucking
nobody hating.
No. Hold on. Some of y'all be taking personal attacks at some of these athletes, y'all. Can you relax?
That's not a hate. I'm not hating. That's a fact.
Like, I'll give y'all a challenge today. Go on Curry, or is it his girl or his wife? I don't know, whatever she is. Go on his girl's Twitter. I'm gonna say wife, and just go through the mentions, man. And please tell me if like 99% of those, the people are wild.
Yeah, you're right. Those people are crazy. But when I'm not attacking his wife. I'm not attacking his person. I mean, because he seemed like a pretty cool person. I don't know him. But I'm talking about what he do on a basketball court.
That's true.
I'm not hating. I'm dumb people. Yeah, they bugging. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all questions in the chat. I'm not going to answer all of them because some of them deal with the videos, and I'm going to be uploading in the next week. So make sure y'all keep intact. But I just want to wrap this up by saying this, and I'm gonna say this again in the video when I upload. Within the last 2 years, Curry has been compared to Michael Jordan. He has been claimed to be better than Isaiah Thomas. And numerous times, regardless if it's ESPN or your local barbershop or just between your friends, people have casually, it has rolled off the tongue. The statement has casually rolled off the tongue that he is the best player in the NBA. Always remember, just
he was at one point, MVP, yo. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, he was not.
That season he won the championship. He wasn't the best.
No,
I'm not saying he wasn't the most talented. I'm saying did he play the best that season?
No.
You don't think he played the best in the season he won the championship?
Agent, because you won a championship or because you won an MVP, we had this.
Steve Nash was never the best championship. Player. No, don't start Steve Nash. Don't start Steve Nash.
No, Steve Nash was never the best.
Do not start the Steve Nash shit today.
You know I'm about to say it. Because Steve Nash was never the best player. He was never even a top 3 player in the NBA.
You are fucking disrespectful, right?
No, I'm not. Ain't no disrespectful. Steve Nash was never a top 3 player in the NBA.
All right, stop the disrespect, man.
All that's nice, but it is what it is. So we're gonna move on though. There's a lot of questions that people are asking in the chat, and I want to be extremely clear. I will be answering these questions in my videos. Also, shout out to the boy AJ in the chat with me right now. A lot of people asking who is he talking to because you got the Kanye West face on right now. People don't know who you are. It's you still go by Call Me Agent Zero, or is this Agent Zero?
Agent Zero. Where you at? You know me for this long, and you have to ask that question. Come on,
I don't know, yo. You might still have the OG tag on you. It's call me. It's at Call Me Agent Zero on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Yo, if for the people out there, I'm gonna put his link in the description. Once the I think it should pop up. It might be up there right now, but for sure after the video, the podcast is over, it'll be up there along with mine. Also, Waffle isn't here because he's watching a Ronda Rousey fight.
Date. Say it.
He's on a date. He's on a date with no, I'm not gonna say the girl's name. He's on a date watching a Ronda Rousey fight. And also for the people out there who always ask me after the podcast, I will put the timestamps in the video description as well, so everybody can kind of just jump around it, so you can kind of miss the dead spots. Moving on though.
Real quick though, if we could just put aside all our criticism for a second. Specifically this year, there's been a lot less injuries. But the last few years has been pretty great for basketball. Like I know all the people retired, and it's low-key depressing watching any kind of Laker game without Kobe in it. But NBA has been lit last few seasons, man. So hey, just real quick, put down the fucking Curry or the Durant and LeBron hate. Some of y'all, all y'all hate on somebody. Okay, I hate Bargnani with the passion. You can put down that Bargnani hate and just appreciate some shit.
Oh, talking about Bargnani. Balling with Al Horford. They're great. Does it again. Yo, shout out because he had a block. He had a block in the game. Shout out to the great Al Horford.
Let's introduce him, man. Yo, everybody. Welcome to the new segment. We call this shit Balling with Horford. Horford is supposed to be the game changer for the Boston Celtics. Came in over the last few episodes of this podcast. He went out there and missed 2 game-winning layups. Phenomenal shit. So here's where we just kind of break down, how Al Horford's performed over last week.
Oh, I already know. Already know what he did.
Go ahead, man.
They recently played the Cavaliers in the post, game winner again.
Oh,
in the post, they need him, or it might have been game time, but it was a late game situation. In the post, backing down, turn around and get stripped by LeBron, and LeBron just strips it. LeBron strips it like, oh, you were trying to post up. Oh, that's cute. That's real cute. And LeBron just strips him immediately. Yo, shout out to Al Horford. Yo, I think he missed a late. Richard Jefferson was able to snag a rebound, even though when the Celtics need a board. Richard Jefferson was able to snag it before the great Al Horford. # the great Al Horford. I'm gonna tell people right now. I hope one of my biggest accomplishments that I wish had happened. The great # the great Al Horford at one point needs to be trending. It has to be trending on Twitter. # the great Al.
But get this. Over the last 3 games this week, our boy Al Horford went out there and dropped 10 points and 4 rebounds, man. He's out there killing it. This has been a good week for him. He got 15 points on Christmas Day, shout out. Then dropped to 11. Then dropped to 6. And then lost to Cleveland. And he's at halftime against Miami right now. Only has 9. So
that's what's up.
And he's playing less and less minutes, man. It's depressing. Wow. Anyway, wow. That's balling with Horford this week, man.
Yeah, it is, yo. That's what's up. But that's what everybody said. They said that Al Horford gonna be a game changer, yo. They said DeMar DeRozan was a 46 player in the NBA.
Word.
But Al Horford though, that's borderline top 10. That's gonna change it. That's gonna change. They're gonna change everything in the East. Yeah, Al Horford gonna shake up everything in the East, even though he's been in the East his entire career. Trust me, this time he about to shake up the East.
Yo, come on, man. All he needs is a new environment, Sean. Come on, you know that?
Exactly, yo. Y'all bugging. It's everybody in the chat wants us to talk about Giannis and James Harden and the point guard situation with Russell Westbrook. I think we can kind of move into the 2016 talk, and one of the first things I wanted to talk about when it came to wrapping up 2016 was something that is happening in 2016 that I think that I'm enjoying, that I like about 2016, and that is the positionless basketball. I love the fact that even though we still labeling these guys as point guards, I do love the fact that 6'11", handling the ball like a guard, going out there, getting borderline triple-double numbers. I think he did get a triple-double since the last time we talked about him. And he's putting up crazy numbers, especially for somebody that young, that height, a mismatch problem for everybody. I do like the fact that today's NBA is positionless. I love the fact that you can have Westbrook, Harden, and Giannis, different height, different body types, all playing point guard. And I think that is something that the NBA is doing today in 2016 that I think moving forward is going to be something that I love to see more and more players talk about. So, I mean, more and more players be, because me and my brother were just talking about this earlier. That the whole thing about what they did in the 80s and 90s and even partially in the 2000s, where you have one player playing one or two positions, that shit is so done. If the only way you should be playing one or two positions is if you're like 6'11" or 7 foot. Everybody else needs to get into this mode of playing multiple positions. And I think having more flexible players, I think is a phenomenon.
So you think if Shaq came back to the NBA right now, he'd be out of place?
If you can dominate, I mean, obviously if you can dominate, then that's a different scenario. But we were going, because I gave you that sheet that I don't know what it's called. The spreadsheet, yeah. I show you that spreadsheet of players that were like all the big men from the 60s to now. And if you look at that spreadsheet, it's a lot of players that wouldn't be in the NBA today, but they were in the NBA back in the 80s and 90s. Like Big Country Reeves would not be in the NBA today. So I love it. And shout out to all the people out there who fucking with it. Because I think it is something that moving forward, I think that is something that's going to be interesting. I think that is something that a lot of people are going to move forward to.
Hopefully. I like it better that way, to be honest. Well, it depends. There's always going to be those short players under 6'2" that could only run point guard unless you're Avery Bradley and you want to try and
Marcus Smart, they run Marcus Smart at small forward. So shout out to the Celtics, man.
Yeah, Mr. 35, Mr. 40% now.
Oh, he bumped it up.
He bumped it up. Last year he was Mr. 35% shooting from the field, Mr. 40% out there. I like it when teams run small though. I'm glad it works, yo. I like that. Really, I mean, this goes for all sports. It's part of the reason why baseball and hockey are slowly dying. This shit is too slow. The game stops too often. The fact that the NBA has been able to push this small ball thing is great for new fans because it's exciting. People want to see posts. People want to see pull-up threes. It's part of the reason why they're pushing Stephen Curry so much. That man be doing exactly what the NBA wants out of their superstars, is highlight plays, reckless shots, and this shit just keeps going in. So it's great for the NBA. The NBA loves it. The faster the pace of the ball can move in the NBA, the more it's going to be interesting to the casual fan, and the more people are going to start giving a fuck about basketball. Then the brand grows, the business grows, and then the players make more money. And then, I mean, I enjoy watching it. I mean, the Raptors are a more slow-paced team, but if I want to watch fast-paced, there's a lot of teams out there that do that. So, hey, man, it's lit. I like it this way. Yo, Giannis at point guard is fun because how do you match that up? Do you put DeMar Carroll on that, and then there's a mismatch elsewhere? It's like a game of chess, yo. The coaches have more work to do now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I enjoy it that way too because I just think I think positionless basketball is the way to go anyway, and I think that is a slow but sure way to evolve the game in the right direction. But I enjoy it, and I think it does give some I don't know. I think it gives some flexibility, and I think it gives some interesting players throughout the NBA. Like you said, bigger players, faster. It makes it extremely more entertaining to watch instead of. And I'm not trying to diss what they did in the 90s and 80s and stuff like that, but instead of, in the 80s, you dump it into Hakeem. On the 90s, you're dumping it into Pat Ewing or Barkley, and they backing down and they playing a very slow-paced bully ball type of game. It was effective, but it probably wasn't the most entertaining thing to watch.
Real quick though, somebody brought up the hockey thing. He's like, "Did you say, agent, that hockey stops more?" I'm saying it's a more, I don't know the word to put it, but I'm in a sport management program. We usually have guest speakers, and since I'm in Niagara, they're pretty much all from NHL teams. So whether it's like some dude from marketing or sales or any department on any team in the NHL, and they're telling us right now that they're looking at making it easier for people to score goals, especially in North America. It's way different when you go to Europe and what the fans over there are looking for. But anyway, that's really what I was trying to get at. Those two leagues, though, are slowing down big time. They're going to make some rule changes soon. But shout out to the NBA. I mean, we had that David Stern talk in previous pods. Yo, I hated that guy for a lot of things. He fucked up and did some pretty messed up things, but he grew the NBA, yo, because there was a good chance the NBA might have just flopped. But with the start of the Dream Team in the Olympics, and then from there it flew sky high.
Low key, one of the better commissioners in all the sports. So yeah, shout out to David Stern, yo. You might not know what you're doing when it comes to bringing Chris Paul to Los Angeles, or at least the Lakers. You got into the Clippers.
Yo, how many championships would they have won, fam?
Oh, we would not have won no championships.
Yo, Chris Paul on the Lakers?
No, because they fucked up at the coach.
I know,
Chris Paul the Lakers with what's his name? What's his bum D'Antoni as coach? That doesn't work.
Nah, but take this in, man. So Kobe his whole life been playing with average point guards. At a certain point in his prime, Derek Fisher was a little above average, but for the most part, average as fuck, right? Can you imagine he ran with the good point guard? Remember, like when LeBron went to Miami?
It wouldn't have worked though because Kobe needs a ball in his hand to operate.
I know, but I seen people said the same thing when LeBron went to Miami, and then I saw him work it with Wade, and I was like, so you're telling me they could do it? That means other teams can pull it off if they're willing to sacrifice.
LeBron is more passive. LeBron is more passive. I don't think.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Kobe my guy, but even I gotta admit he's not gonna be passive as much as LeBron is. I don't know. It might have worked. I don't think they would have won as many as people which call it though. People would have thought though, but it might have worked. Who knows?
It was better than Nash though. An old Nash with nerve problems.
It doesn't matter. Chris Paul is just better than Nash in general.
No, wait. Okay, in their primes, who had a better prime?
Look, agent, we got to keep it moving.
No.
Yo, we got to talk about things in the chat, man. Things that you didn't like in 2016, things that you saw that was kind of like, I'm not fucking with that. Things that you just like, we're gonna
like. Twitter was a lot of fun, but I don't know, man. The bandwagons are getting heavy, yo. It's like
low key, they are.
Like legit, some people get mad at me in my videos because I'm a fan of basketball, right? And so growing up, I moved I have family in Dallas. They sent me a Dirk jersey. Dirk's been one of my favorite NBA players. So I have that shit up on my wall. I have a Paul George jersey up on my wall. I also have a Wiggins jersey because he's from Canada. People legit will tell me, agent, yo, why the fuck are you bandwagoning? Yo, it's not even, it had nothing to do with basketball, but it's more the reaction. Like people get so emotional, which it's all right. You're supposed to get emotional in sport, but sometimes it just triggers me. It's like you can't even just enjoy basketball without somebody talking shit about a player. You know what I mean? Like I was watching the Christmas Day game and I was like, I know everyone is low key gonna make videos talking bear shit, which is all right. You're allowed to criticize the players, but I was just sitting there enjoying the game, man. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a really good year. Really
low key. I don't know if it's been a really good year. Low key, I don't even know how people can watch games and be on Twitter. Like for the people that follow me on Twitter who be thinking like, yo, this nigga Lodo never tweet. I don't know how people watch games and tweet at the same time. I don't know how y'all do it.
It's lit, yo. You haven't tried it?
I've tried it once and I'll just be like, I'll get caught up in the game because on Kobe's last game I tried to do it. But I got so caught up, I was like, I forgot to tweet half the time. So I couldn't do it. But the one thing that I don't like was two things. One, I don't like obviously KD going to the Golden State Warriors, and I've explained that already. But two, I don't like the
I know what you're gonna say.
What's that?
You can talk about organizations fucking up superstars.
Exactly.
Like is that what you're gonna say?
I was gonna say that, yeah.
I know you better than me.
Looking at the league. Looking at the league, I'm looking at an NBA with a tad bit too many teams, or at least too many teams that don't know what they're doing. And there's just no excuse to why Indiana and Washington are below 500 right now. And both of them have made multiple mistakes over the past 2 to 3 years.
Well, Washington had Beal out for a while, so they
Washington over 2 years now has been preparing to get Kevin Durant, and he didn't even show up. He didn't even show up. He didn't even sit down and talk to them. So that, I mean, and then Pacers looked like they were on track to do something good, but then Frank Vogel, for whatever reason, lost his job, which I don't understand. Orlando looked like they were moving in the right direction, but out of nowhere they got rid of Tobias Harris, Victor Oladipo, got Serge Ibaka, who's on an expiring contract, and it doesn't look like he's going to stay after this season, especially the way that the organization is going in the wins and loss column. And even if he does stay, they're overpaying him. And then they had Aaron Gordon, who was a power forward, but they're playing him at small forward because they still have Vucevic, and they paid Bismack Biyombo the price of a starting big. Like it don't make no sense. Dwayne Wade is now not in Miami because Pat Riley is a cheapskate. And then you move on to the West. There's a whole bunch of other messed up stuff with Sacramento. I don't know what the Pelicans are doing half the time. It amazes me how Dallas started the NBA season, I think 2-9, but yet Phoenix is now the worst team record-wise in the West. Like, I don't know what's going on in the West. But, for the most part, I just start questioning a lot of these teams. I don't know what's going on. Like, for example, we can talk about this too. Blake Griffin. Why is he still in the Clippers?
I told y'all last year they should have 100% already got rid of him. Teams are too scared to take a risk because if it doesn't pay off, that's their job. But if they don't take a risk, I mean, they stay at their job, but they're going to end up making the same mistake. It's just going to happen later on. They should have traded him while it had value, man. I said that. He had an option. Trade before the option year starts. They had a chance.
I don't. And shout out to Zane Khan, because that right there, that list of players is a list of players I always point to. OKC had, and we bouncing around a little bit because I do want to touch on the Blake Griffin thing. OKC had Eric Bledsoe, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, Reggie Jackson. You got to add on to that list. Reggie Jackson, and they had, I'm missing somebody else. They had one more player. Oh, they had Jeff Green. and they got rid of all of them players, and they really don't have much to show for it. They got rid of Jeff Green to get Kendrick Perkins and Nate Robinson, trade away Nate Robinson and wave them off a few days later, and overplayed Kendrick Perkins for 3 years too long. Crazy. But going back to Blake Griffin, I always thought that Blake Griffin at some point was going to go to a next level when it comes to his game. But he's the same player. And I don't understand how you get to a point where you are consistently the same player day in and day out.
Over the last couple of years, he got a mid-range shot now. He could shoot middies.
Yeah, he got and people out there. Let me be clear, because when I criticize somebody, people think that I just think they're garbage or they're trash. Blake Griffin is still a really good player. I really don't. I hate doing this too, but Blake Griffin is a really good player. But it's obvious that you need to take better steps in becoming a better player, because who you are right now obviously isn't good enough. And the Clippers, I feel like, gave him way too many opportunities.
But think of it like this. Remember that one, what was that one playoff series where they were so far ahead and was it to Houston? And then they just choked it all away somehow?
Yeah, it was Houston. Yeah,
what they were probably thinking was, if we didn't choke, we would have been able to make it. But even if they did make it, they still have bigger teams ahead of them. If you can't be the best team in your conference, you need to do something about it now. And unless that means, holding on to a pick and waiting for the draft, like unless you're taking some sort of action, then you're literally wasting everyone's time. If you're a Clippers fan right now, you waited all these years for your team to be nice because they were garbage for a while. I mean, they drafted Kaman, right? They had Corey Maggette at one point. They've had decent players, but they've always been a losing team. So they finally start to win over LA a little bit. And then they're very close to losing it all by the end of the season. It's gonna be really interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, for the people out there who don't know, end of the season, Blake Griffin and Chris Paul potentially could be out of their contracts. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Blake has a player option. So both of them could be out of their contracts this year, and this whole big three with the Clipper thing might be over with. Like it's probably going to be done with this.
It's going to be big four, right? With Wade, LeBron, and Melo.
I don't know if they're going to do all that, but I mean, even if they do, I think it is done, because I don't really think that team is set up to win a championship right now, especially with the moves that was made with Golden State. The fact that we're in 2016, I think they started this back in 2012. It's been like 4 or 5 years since they've been doing this now, and they don't have a small forward, and small forwards have been bouncing around the NBA for the past 3 to 4 years now. The fact that they haven't been able to scoop anything up, it's ridiculous.
That is crazy. At one point, like especially after like maybe the second time you fucked up, you don't sit there and think to yourself, well, we have an incredibly valuable power forward. Maybe we can move him and see if we could switch around some assets and some picks here. Nope, that never occurred to anybody. And Doc is GM and coach, right? So that's on Doc.
It's on Doc. Don't get me wrong. I think it is on Doc, and I think he doesn't want to pull the trigger on Blake. But really, at this point, it's kind of too late. He can't pull the trigger on Blake because Blake is hurt, and he's going to be out, at least if I'm not mistaken, until February. And by that time, the trade deadline is literally right around the corner for another week or two. So.
Yo, real quick though, correct. I had to Google it, but Doc is the president of basketball operations. Don't know what the fuck that means. That's basically
he makes a decision. Yeah, he makes a decision. Yeah, he makes a decision.
Dave Wohl is technically the general manager.
So I don't know if I was the Clippers, and I'm again, this is another video I'm gonna do about it. So I see y'all questions in the chat. I'm not gonna answer all of them, but if I was the Clippers, low key, I would max out Blake and let Chris Paul walk. Because I think
what?
At this point, can I finish?
No, that sounds stupid as fuck.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Go ahead, man. Try and justify that one.
Can I finish?
You're gonna say Chris Paul's old, right?
No, well, I mean that plays a part of it as well. But I think the Clippers at this point needs to be thinking big picture now. And I think the Clippers, they don't have that one guy. I think that the Clippers need to be thinking the value of their franchise, right? And something that adds value to your franchise is having a player who's a franchise player, a player who's been on the team forever. Kobe staying on the Lakers for 20 years adds value to the Lakers with or without a loss. Or better than that, Reggie Miller being on the Pacers for 18, 19 years adds value to that team even without a championship being brought to that team, right? So them having the Pacers being able to start a legitimate franchise because they had a legitimate face of the franchise, that adds value to the team. The Clippers don't have that historically, and they've been in the NBA for decades now. Keeping Blake on the team, I do believe that's going to add some form of value to the franchise, because I don't think them winning a championship anytime soon is even.
Blake's going to leave himself, though. He's not staying if Chris Paul leaves. He's taking that.
No. I think he'll stay. I think Blake will stay.
I think Blake will stay. One, he's easily going to decline the player option. He can make way more money. And then he's going to re-sign to the Clippers, especially after they lose. I don't think he's going to. It depends where his values are. I can't speak for him. But if he's trying to win a championship, that's the terrible move. If he's trying to make money, it's a brilliant move to re-sign.
Do you know, we had this conversation last week. The amount of money that these players are making now, is he leaving?
He might. It depends where his values are at.
The answer is no. The answer is no. That's what the answer to that question is no. He's not leaving that team. So because he can make that much money,
if he goes to like New York, he can make more on just endorsements alone, right? Or any big city.
He's in Los Angeles. What are you saying?
But he's with the Clippers, though. You know what I mean? It's like the Clippers don't have the Clippers.
Stop.
The organization is not worth nearly as much as the Lakers.
Stop. He can make a lot of money because he's already making a lot of money outside of.
I think you're assuming his primary goal is to make money. Yeah, he has a lot of money. I think what he's really looking for is. I think that's everybody's primary job. I think that's everybody's primary priority. To make money, for sure. That's what you got an agent. But I mean, the agent's probably going to tell him what you're saying, and Blake's probably going to tell his agent, "But yeah, I really want a championship. Do you think I can get that here?" And that's
so. Why is Carmelo still in New York then?
I mean, Carmelo gets people tell Carmelo. You hear the criticism of Carmelo. That man just money hungry. That's why he re-signed with the Knicks.
So is he money? So is he money hungry then? Right?
I mean, who the fuck isn't? Why the fuck would anyone turn down money? But I'm saying.
So what I'm saying is that's it right there. Why would Blake Griffin turn down the money?
But that's New York though.
He's in Los Angeles. You're bugging.
I know, but there's an appeal to playing in New York in Madison Square Garden. There's no appeal to playing for the Clippers.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying right there. There is no appeal to playing with the Clippers. So if you're the Clippers moving forward, big picture, you need to add value to your team. So people like you can't say that. And the way you add value to your team is to have a franchise player that one day you can retire, put his jersey in the Raptors, all that roddy.
We're gonna have to discuss this with the Clipper fan, because I knew when DeRozan was gonna be a free agent, like as 100% fact, I knew he was returning because I was a Raptor fan. But Laker fans were telling you, no, he's coming to LA, and everybody thought DeRozan was going elsewhere. I'm like, he's not leaving. Like I've seen him here so long, and it's not like he's here, he's always gonna be here. It's like he really enjoys it here. Like his BFF is Kyle Lowry. Unless that's the case, and keep in mind, Curry. Chris Paul is leaving next year, so unless his reason to stay is just to have an impact on an organization, the Clippers.
But first of all, he fucks with DeAndre, not Chris Paul. That's his for the longest. That was the cutest couple until Kyle Lowry. Until Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan came through. That was the cutest couple. Let's be clear about something.
No, you go kill yourself.
Yes. Man. No, that was. But I'm saying is if the Clippers want to add value to their organization, that is to the effect of a New York Knicks or the Los Angeles Lakers or any other franchise who had a franchise player, then what you do is you keep the player on the team for the long haul so you can build up your franchise.
I get what you're saying, but you got to have a great fucking player that can keep up. And Blake is a player that's striving off his athleticism. Oh, I get what you're saying. I understand that it's possible.
Dominique was going off his. I mean, Dominique was way better than Blake, but Dominique was striving off his athleticism, and he was with the Hawks for a very long time.
And he was also way better than Blake, as you said. So I don't even know if that's a comparison worth making.
I don't know. I just try to pull something on my ass. Moving on. Moving on though. Any players in 2016 that people might have overlooked? People might have might not know about how great they're playing. Any players you think that are hidden gems in the NBA right now?
I mean, you already know I'm gonna say DeRozan and Lowry, so we're gonna pretend that's already a given.
Wow. If I had to,
someone said Brook Lopez.
Nah, yo, low key, because we had this conversation earlier. Yo, it might have to be Drew Holiday, man. That's a gem.
Well? Is he still playing well?
I don't know if he's still playing well, but that might be a gem. I don't think a lot of people. I think people do sleep on and forget about how good Drew Holiday is, low key, from time to time.
Balling, yo, he's doing. Oh, I'm glad I traded him in fantasy. He's doing good, but he's just. I mean, the team definitely winning games with him, though. Yeah, that's true.
Sure. I don't know. I think that he's a gem for sure.
I don't know about a gem.
I think he is.
I'm gonna go with Al Horford. That man's been killing. He's been killing the NBA for a while now. One of the greatest centers to ever live. And
Harrison Barnes is another good one.
Oh, dude, the team is losing though. But Dirk is back now. Okay, so Dallas might start winning some more games.
True. Hopefully. I want to say this for later. I want to say the biggest L in 2016 and the biggest W for 2016 later on. Also, what team? What would do your 5-year plan? 5 years down the line from now, 2021. What team do you see?
That is a retarded. Nah, you don't ask that. That's impossible. 5 years and everyone's contract's over. That's impossible to answer.
But you about to answer this question. So 5 years down the line, 2021, which team? Just name me one team that's falling off. One team that you see like isn't really making the right decisions, and one team that you can see like
the Clippers about to fall off next year. So I know that much. I'm gonna say the Clippers, and they're probably never gonna get it back because it took them so long to get here already. So that's a team that already fucked up.
I'll say this: the one team that could potentially fall off, and people not saying this. It depends on what OKC do. And me and you had this back and forth before. But if OKC messes up, and they could potentially mess up, that is a team that's going to fall off. And y'all are going to realize how poorly managed that team was because they had it and they lost it. Because that team about to fall all the way off. That's all I'm saying.
I can't imagine Westbrook plays that well for so many years and doesn't get injured. I know when Kobe was trying to carry, Kobe put on the 50-pound backpack on LA, and he was out there balling 35 points per game in 07, 06. And he was getting injured all left and right. His finger, his snap off, his foot, then his ankle and his knees, his head. He was getting at one point, when players have that much usage, like they're going to start to get injured. So that might happen closer to 5 years. But 5 years, his contract's over anyway. So,
yeah. And for the team out there that I believe is going to pop up in the next 5 years, you already know who it is.
You gonna say the Bucks?
LA all day. Fuck the Bucks. Los Angeles Lakers, yo. I really don't do this, and people out here who watch this podcast, y'all know I don't do this because I try to stay quiet, try to be unbiased. I stay so unbiased about the Lakers that people think I love LeBron or something like that. They think I'm a Cavs fan or they think I'm a Warriors fan or some dumb stuff. Yo,
you're a Hawks fan, right?
Or I'm a Hawks. I might be a Hawks fan more than any other team. Yo, the Lakers, next 5 years, that's the bomb team right there. Trust.
Yeah, you need to cut it.
No. In the next 5 years, trust. It ain't no delusion, ain't none of that. Low key though, because I thought about this. The Lakers could either go one or two ways. We could have made we could blow up, or low key, we might have made two terrible decisions in back-to-back drafts. Because I'm dead serious. Low key,
I know you're dead serious.
D'Angelo is not. No, he not Porzingis, and we should have drafted Porzingis. We'd be looking so much better with Porzingis, so much better.
Oh, that'd be a huge risk. So you gotta wait for it to play out, though. Porzingis was a risk when he was drafted. Stop pretending like he wasn't.
No, Porzingis.
He got booed when he got drafted in New York.
Because those people are stupid. stupid. They cheer Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah,
people stupid. They don't know what they're talking about.
People talk reckless, and then when they find out they're wrong, they pretend like that perspective never existed. When people see if Bargnani turned out to be a baller, that was a huge risk at the time. People were pretending like that wasn't a risk. Porzingis was a huge risk when he was drafted by the Knicks. There was a good chance that guy could have been a huge flop. And that guy, people said, nah, he's not going to be ready for another couple of years. He was ready that year to ball. And he did. He did pretty well. So he was definitely.
Yo, shout out to Matthew. He wasn't no risk like that. Shout out to Matthew Newland. Because Ingram, 5 years from now, it's either one or the other. He gonna be KD or he gonna be Garbanzo Beans. He's gonna
Wesley Matthews, right?
He might actually be Wesley Matthews. He's QB. He's gonna be garbage.
He said Garbanzo Beans.
He's gonna be Garbanzo Beans. He's gonna be Trinidadian trash. He's gonna be Trinidad. That's what he's gonna be.
All right, okay.
It's one of the two, and I'm dead serious. People be thinking I'm bugging. I'd rather have Jaylen Brown than Brandon Ingram right now. But 5 years down the line, who you think gonna be popping?
Jaylen Brown was a risk too, by the way. People thought he got taken too early. I'm telling you what people said in the draft.
These the same people who thought they got a whole bunch of other picks wrong, man. It's people don't know what they're talking about.
I mean, they're not fortune tellers, but they try.
All I know is Porzingis is lucky about to be good. But 5 years down the line, who you think gonna be popping?
Probably JaVale McGee. He's gonna be probably inducted into the Shaqtin' Fool Hall of Fame.
I don't understand why they just don't start him low key.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, he's performing pretty good. I know we fuck around with JaVale a lot, but he's actually doing decent on the work. I mean, he still gets his Shaqtin' Fool clips in, thank God, but he puts in work too.
It can't be that big of a difference between like him and Zaza.
I mean, I don't know. It depends. I know you don't look at them and think offensive threat, but I was watching the game against the Raptors and Zaza did a nice little shimmy post hook. I was like, is that Kareem? Let me chill. But those two, they're decent. They're definitely both fifth options. But when you could grab rebounds and just tip it out, then you're doing your job.
True. Yo, and for the people out there who's saying the Sixers, I agree. The Sixers in the next 5 years should be straight. I gotta see Embiid play for. I don't know if Embiid is going to play for 5 years or 4 or 5 years healthy consistently, and then I think Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons. I think he's the real deal. I think the potential of him being a bust is slim to none. But I still need to see Embiid play major minutes for a major amount of time. I think that's it. So we're gonna move on to the biggest L in 2016. Put them L's in the chat for these people, man. Put them L's in the chat, and y'all tell me in the chat. And Agent, you tell me as well who got the biggest L in 2016. I got some nominees for you as well, so you all right. And if you feel like I miss anybody, put it in the chat as well. But get ready for these L's. So the first L goes to, the first nominee, OJ Mayo. Put that L in the chat. There you go, chat. Put the L's in the chat. OJ Mayo, one and only, dumb as hell, failing drug test in a point of time where, people getting multi-million-dollar contracts, even though they the 13th man on the bench. OJ Mayo, all he had to do was show up to a facility, make 2 3-pointers, and he would have got a contract. Yet, for whatever reason, he's completely dumbfounded by the idea that he can't do drugs for whatever reason while he's in the NBA. And not only did he not get a contract, but he's suspended for the next 2 years.
Oh, I didn't even know it was 2 years.
Yeah, he's suspended for 2 years. So by the time he come back, he's going to be older. So that's one L. Next L, you got to do it because it's a major meme on Twitter. Get them L's ready, chat. The Golden State Warriors blew a 3-1 lead to the one and only Cleveland Cavaliers, the team that has by far one of the worst historic franchise when it comes to wins and losses in NBA history, the Cleveland Cavaliers. But we're up 3-1, had a team that was record-breaking 73-9, had the unanimous MVP in Stephen Curry, had home court advantage, and they still lost. Put them L's in the chat for them real quick. I think everybody already know that. And then they lose.
Spam it up in the chat.
and then they lose a 14 lead in the finals. I mean, in the Christmas game.
A lot of choking going on.
Yeah, a lot of choking. Then I had to squeeze him in the nomination and shit. George Karl. I don't know what George Karl is doing, but he swears up and down that he about to have another contract. He about to have another career in the NBA. I don't understand why he think that. But for the past 2 weeks now, he's been throwing multiple people under the bus.
How do you have a career again after that? Like, how do you talk shit about the players you played with and then turn around and expect any player to ever play under you ever? Nah, he fucked up his career. He probably knew it was over, though. He's like, let me get this book deal real quick, make a couple of millions, and I'm out. He did, though. He knows how to make money, I guess, right? He keeps getting signed.
I guess so, but he could have been making more money, I feel like, in the NBA. So I don't know what's wrong with George Karl. Everybody from critiquing their play to critiquing their personal life with their fathers and what they did on and off the court. You know, I don't feel too kind about that, especially from a player, especially from a coach that a lot of people gave him a lot of respect when it comes to winning and losing games and just being able to coach the best out of players, and somebody we all backed when it came to when his fight with cancer. So I don't understand where that came from and why he was so vocal about his disdain for some of his players that he hasn't played with 6 years ago. Like I don't know how long ago he played with he coached J.R. Smith and Carmelo and them, but it's been a while. And finally, another big L. This right here may go to surprise to some of you all. Man, we can kind of lump in a lot of these players who were in the NBA and who are now out of the NBA, but they're still relatively in their prime, and people out here making multi-million-dollar contracts. I don't get it. How is Lance Stevenson out of the NBA? How did he not get a major contract? Because 3 years ago, we were like, oh, no, that's it. How is Josh Smith out of the NBA? Because like 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, oh, no, Josh Smith, if he plays his card right. Because in today's NBA, Josh Smith should be a starter, but for whatever reason, he not starting no more. I don't get it. I don't get that. That's crazy.
You know what's crazy is like no one learned from Vince Carter. Like you did a phenomenal job on one team. You fit with that one team. That doesn't mean you're gonna go to the next place and you're gonna fit like amazing. And Lance Stevenson left the Pacers, man. I really liked him on the Pacers. He did phenomenal. And he went to a bunch of other teams and this shit just didn't work out. And it's unfortunate. He was on Twitch playing with Cash like last week. It was like last month. It was a few weeks ago. And I was like, wow, he got cut from his team. Now he's not making anything. That's crazy.
Nate Robinson's another one. Nate Robinson's another one where just like, what happened? Like you here? Like, I don't understand why you leaving the NBA because they getting paid out here. I don't know where Norris Cole is at. Like, it's a bunch of these players that just like in the last 2 years, they just vanished. And I'm like, y'all not even 30 yet. I don't even know what's going on. And people out here getting these $1 million contracts? I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, Lance is injured, but even before the injury, I don't understand how he was just receiving like $1 million contracts. That didn't make any. I mean, not 1 million, 1 year contracts. He should have been able to land a really solid contract. But he took a risk on himself, right? He took a risk on himself a few years ago when he decided not to sign back with the Pacers because he thought that he was going to bet on himself. He gambled, he bet wrong, and now he wasn't able to land a major contract. So that is an L. That's an L for Lance. Mm-hmm. So y'all tell me, Wade, you can tell me as well who you think is got the biggest L in 2016. Y'all also spam it up in the chat as well. Shout out to Anthony Bennett. Anthony Bennett is another one. Anthony Bennett, I don't know how are you not motivated enough to stay in the NBA? Like I don't understand. They're getting $1 million contracts. How are you not motivated? I don't get that.
First overall pick too. I'm gonna go with the Warriors. It has to be. They lost the championship on a season, NBA on a record-breaking season. How, Sway? That's disappointing. But and they were up big. I know they had one of their home games without Draymond, but even without Draymond, they still had the more talented team going in. Because before the finals, the perspective was, man, Golden State's so fucking good. There was a huge majority of people saying it wasn't even going to be close. It was going to be Game 5 or Game 6. And the fact that they were able to switch it around, that's crazy. So the Cavs pulled it off, yo. They said, we're not injured this year. We're actually going to kill y'all. So that's the biggest L for me.
True. Hey, y'all put in the chat. Tell me who y'all think is the biggest loser in 2016. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Warriors too. The Warriors. Anthony Bennett with the Brooklyn Nets right now.
I don't know. He's either with them or the D League team in Toronto. I think he left the D League team last year though. I don't know where he went.
I gotta check that out. Someone check that out for me. Oh, they say he's in the NBA, so he's in the NBA. Oh, that's what's up. Shout out to Anthony Bennett for keeping that job, then, boy. I see you.
Yeah, he is a Brooklyn.
But okay, cool. That's what's up. We still getting them contracts. That's all I need to hear. I need to hear that he getting.
Yeah. Real quick though, 4 seasons, 4 teams.
4 seasons, 14. Hey man, he just need to stay in the NBA. That's all I'm concerned about. We trying to get that money. That's all. Trying to get that money. But Brooklyn is an L themselves. So I don't know. He's still on a team full of L's. But it got to be the Warriors. The Warriors took the biggest L in 2016. I think it's fairly obvious. Like you said, up 3-1 in the NBA Finals. You got a 73-9 record. You can obviously make history, and they completely failed at it. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in a row. And Curry is supposedly one of the greatest players the game has ever seen, and he failed at that. Whole bunch of L's were taken. And I think it's fairly obvious that biggest L is that I'll just say that entire Golden State Warriors team. I try not to lump nobody out like Curry or Draymond or Harrison Barnes because Harrison Barnes.
Whoa! Leave Draymond out of it. He actually performed in Game 7.
I know, but some people blame Draymond for his suspension because that's the reason why.
Even though 2 more chances to win a game, though.
Hey, look, man. I don't.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? These people. One, I don't blame Draymond because, like you said, he said 2 more games. But I hear people make the excuse, so I'm gonna just lump everybody up, and it's just the Golden State Warriors got the L. Yeah, shout out to the people in the chat too because they are saying Hillary Clinton, you took an L, and you're right. The Democratic Party took a huge L, and then America took a bigger one. So yeah, shout out to the Democratic Party for taking that L too. Outside of sports. It's Hillary Clinton took the biggest L in America. Moving on though to the biggest W's. Put them W's in the chat. We really don't ask you all to spam the W's in the chat, but go ahead and spam them W's up in the chat. Spam the W's up in the chat. So first and foremost, obviously, you got the biggest L with the Warriors. Obviously, the Cavaliers' biggest W for a nomination. Not only did they come back and win the finals, but this is the first finals in over 2,000 years, and just completely won on the back of LeBron James. LeBron James finally made his promise come true to the Cleveland Cavaliers, making sure that he won a championship, which is his 3rd chip, bringing him closer to the debate of Michael Jordan and LeBron in that comparison. Not only that, statistically speaking, 2016 was a great year for LeBron. But as a whole, LeBron, not only LeBron, but Kevin Love, he was this close to being traded off the team. Kyrie Irving came up big in the final seconds of the finals. Tristan Thompson is starting to become more and more known. He's starting to validate the reason why he got paid that crazy contract, because I think a year ago we were all very, very critical of that contract that he got. So the Cavaliers as a whole, spam them W's up in the chat for them. Yeah, shout out to the people in the chat. Next, I'm gonna say the Sixers, even though they don't look like they're in the spot to win anytime soon. Ben Simmons, and now we're seeing what Embiid brings to the floor. I think that is a team that is going to move forward finally for the next few years, and this year was a pretty good year for them, even though again they're still not winning games. They picked up Embiid is now playing, and then they picked up Ben Simmons in the draft. Those are 2 pieces moving forward that a lot of us, I think a lot of us do believe that they're going to be able to move forward and win a lot of games. Even though this is more on a somber note, I guess for us, give the NBA a W because we wrapped up in 2016 some of the most historically great careers in NBA history, with Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen, phenomenal athletes, phenomenal players. We got Kevin Garnett. We get to say that we watched their entire careers, and they wrapped it all up in 2016. 2016, the draft class, whenever that will be, I think like 3 or 5 years down the line, will be one of the greatest Hall of Fame classes the game has ever seen. But we got to see all of them, and they all retired all in 2016. So shout out to them as well. And am I missing anything? I think that's it. Hey! Shout out to Mike Conley for the contract. Shout out to the people in the chat. Shout out to Mike Conley for making history for signing the biggest contract in NBA history. Shout out to Mike Conley. Who would have known? Who would have known it was Mike Conley that broke that record. So shout out to Mike Conley. Shout out to the league of players who's still in the NBA who got their shit together and stay in the league and they getting paid. And the poster child of that is going to be Mike Conley. I think that's it. So who you got? Who you got for the dub?
There's definitely not no fucking 76ers.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna go. I guess LeBron. Part of me didn't want him to win because you already know how fucking LeBron fans get. He's already better than Kobe in his whole career. I'm like, but did he win 5 chips yet? And he's getting close to it. I mean, to see.
I mean, but he's better than Kobe though.
All right, we don't want to get into that. I like seeing great players do great things. It was definitely a W to see LeBron. Because I'm not gonna lie, like how irrelevant is Cleveland until LeBron got there? You know what I mean? Like how irrelevant was Toronto before Vince got there? And like LeBron's had an even more monumental impact. So if you're from Ohio or you give a fuck about Ohio or LeBron as a person, is he made that city relevant now, and especially as a sports city. And I know they choked a 3-1 lead in baseball later on, but actually a little bit earlier, right?
I think it was earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, LeBron's gonna take the W from me.
I would give LeBron the Cavs the W, but I don't want to sound redundant, so I'm gonna give it to the players that just retired, man, to put a stamp on the phenomenal careers that they had. Kobe finished off his farewell tour with. I mean, I'm thinking about it now. 2015-2016 season might have been one of the greatest seasons that I've seen in a very long time. You got to see the last part of Kobe, Duncan, Garnett. Ray Allen wasn't playing, but Ray Allen retired. Then the 73-9 Cavaliers, not 73-9 Golden State Warriors. Cavaliers coming back from I was say, I don't know what I'm saying. Cavaliers coming back from a 1-3 deficit. So 2016, the 2015-2016 season was actually extremely well. But you know, Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time, and to say that I saw his last game and I saw it live and I watched every moment of it, and it is by far one of the most memorable games that I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen quite a few Kobe games because of that. So
it was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, as a Kobe fan, that game, legit, when I think he missed his first 4 or 5 shots. I was like, I legit turned it off for the rest of the quarter. I was like, this is not how I'm gonna see Kobe go. And then I got some tweets telling me, nah, check that shit again real quick, agent. Second quarter, third, man, what a great player.
Hey, and that fourth quarter was just snowballing. It was just like, yo, he's getting hot. That man is 88 years old and he's still getting hot like that. Yo, that was crazy, yo. And he was knocking down shots that were contested and all that stuff.
People bring up the dunk contest too. Best one since Vince. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yes. The 2015-2016 NBA season was actually a lot. In retrospect, was an extremely entertaining season. Even for teams that weren't really good, like the Lakers, you got to see Kobe Bryant's last year. Then the slam dunk contest was one of the most interesting things. Even Curry broke the record for the most threes in the season. So I mean, it was a lot of record-breaking things that happened.
Like James Harden, he broke records too.
James Harden broke the record for the most turnovers. So yeah, man, it was an extremely good season. I think a lot of us will remember forever. Yeah, this actually might be one of the better seasons in NBA history, to be honest with you.
I agree. And how much justice was it? The best dunk contest since Vince Carter was in Toronto, man. Can we have the All-Star game in Toronto every other year, man? It seems like only good things happen in Toronto, man.
That team, them niggas in Toronto, like they're about to freeze their ass off.
Oh yeah, because y'all come in winter though.
No, I mean that's when it is. Oh yeah, the first unanimous MVP. There's a lot of things. RIP to Craig Sager. You gotta say that as well. Paul George almost broke the All-Star point records in the All-Star game. So yeah, it was a lot of things.
I thought you were gonna say his knee again. I was like, why are you such a savage, yo?
No. But yeah, Paul George came back, and then in the All-Star game, he almost broke the record. They actually stopped him from breaking the record because they didn't want him to break the Wilt Chamberlain record. So yeah, 2015, 2016 was actually a phenomenal season, and I think that is something that we all will remember. And I think that's it for the podcast, yo. It's a lot of people in the podcast. It's like we got over 180 people right now watching live, and it done been over 200 a few times actually. So shout out to everybody who's watching, who's always been watching. Yo, shout out. Wait. The greatest player that will never win the MVP, the great Al Horford, by far having one of the best statistical seasons of his career. Shout out.
Word.
Yo, to the people out there who keep asking, because this guy who's asked me if LeBron wins his championship, will he be considered the greatest of all time? I am putting out a video next week that will answer. Yes, Hey.
We're fighting
putting out. This. Hey, man, can I answer the question? Can I answer the question? He has to if he does that. I'm putting out a video. That will answer these questions because he obviously has to still go through Jordan. He obviously has to go through a few other players like Jordan and Al Horford. He has to do that. So we'll see. We'll see where he ranks. But I will answer that question later on down the week because I will start uploading videos because I have my computer in the next couple of days. But again, like I said, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to people who are rocking with me. Shout out to the people who are still watching the podcast, even though I haven't been uploading too many. I haven't uploaded at all, actually, because of my computer. Any closing statements, Agent?
Shout out to the fucking people in the chat talking about, Agent, the Suns beat the Raptors. Did you see that? I want you to talk about real quick. Your Suns aren't making the playoffs, though. So I'll see y'all when that happens. All right? Bet.
Yo, you are so bitter. Jeez, you're a bitter bitch.
People hit me up on Twitter like the Raptors are never going to lose a game. Like when the Raptors lost the Warriors, I didn't get one tweet from a Warrior fan talking shit. They're just like, all right, cool. Yo, when like the Bulls fans beat the Raptors or the Knicks, fam, the tweets just flood in. Everybody trying to tell me how bad the Raptors are and shit. Like the Raptors are invincible to losing. Relax. It's a regular season. We're still going to make the playoffs, second seed, and the Suns won't. So that's what matters, right? That's what matters, right, Lo?
Yeah, I mean, it do. Because, like I said, I don't really care about the regular season, what y'all do in the regular season, because I already know y'all going to be good in the regular season. I need to see what y'all do in the playoffs.
Yeah, man, Golden State done took a shit on the fucking Raptors, fam. Man, that first quarter, Raptors were down 25. It was not a good look. Shoot, on NBA TV, Warriors, they came back with a vengeance. They're like, the Cavs did that to us? Now let's fuck these guys up today. But anyway, that was a fun game to watch, though.
True. Yeah, shout out to, like I said, keep saying shout out to people in the chat. I'm going to try my hardest to put the timestamps. I will, though, because I think this is a more easy and enjoyable pod to listen back to. So I'm going to put all the timestamps in the description below so people can kind of bounce around, or I might even put it in the comment section. And shout out to everybody who out here who's listening and stuff like that, and who watching and messing with the kid. And hopefully I'll see y'all within the next few days before the next week's podcast. So peace. Oh yeah, we're gonna be on Park After Dark.
Yep. Yo, did you make your player yet? Because you don't have much time.
Oh, hey, trust. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, shout out. All right, see y'all later, y'all. I'll see y'all later.
Later, y'all.
Yo, take that Kanye West shit off your